won that game. So now it's time for revenge for the world champion.
Yeah. David, is that what it is about for Magnus Carlsen in this game? Revenge against Eric Hansen?
Definitely about revenge. Magnus, as we mentioned, he bears grudges. He remembers every defeat he's ever been inflicted on, and he wants to win against that opponent to show who is the boss. And last time in the Airthings Masters, we actually saw Magnus again with white. There he opened with his king's pawn, 1e4. He's gone away from that, and now he's opened with the English opening. And okay, Eric, maybe not expecting this. How will he react in the opening? Eric, great player, of course, did great in the Airthings Masters, but he is known to suffer from time trouble. He's very slow in certain positions, and maybe Magnus just wants to give him a lot of choice at this early stage. Eric deciding upon what to play and just occupying the center with a pawn. This is what we call the four knights variation, and Magnus just, again, pushing a pawn to fianchetto his bishop.
Oh wow, that is very nice.
With the knights.
New to me, I think, at this level, to see those four knights out there.
Yeah, there are various different types of four knights openings. There's one in king's pawn openings. This is one of them. But yeah, it's not necessarily the most common variation, and that's why Magnus has chosen it, I think. He just wants Eric to be thinking for himself at an early stage. If we rewind 1 month, when Eric beat Magnus, that was a really theoretical battle. I think Eric was able to get the first 15-20 moves down on the board almost instantly. And later he was able to calculate his way to trick Magnus and eventually win the game. So Magnus just maybe learning from that defeat. He's trying a different strategy here.
They kind of look like, like four pillars in the entrance into the position.
Yeah, and one of them's moved though, Kaya, unfortunately. We do see a trade of pawns, and now after this, white's going to castle, black's going to get his bishop out, he's going to do the same, and yeah, we call this the reverse dragon. There's lots of different names.
What a cool game already. Come on.
Exactly. This is actually a Sicilian defense now, just with reverse colors, and it would be the dragon variation of the Sicilian. Not sure why it's called the dragon, maybe because it breathes fire, but either way, this is still well known theoretically. I remember a win by Magnus Carlsen in 2009 against Vladimir Kramnik in this opening. He's got fond memories. So yeah, he's just hoping to outplay Eric.
So just the name of the opening is?
The reversed dragons.
The reverse. So this is the opening that I'm gonna study. I love it already. Super cool.
I used to play this.
Yeah.
I used to play this variation actually, but for blitz games I was moving my knight not to this side, to the queen side, to b6, but I was moving it to e7, let's say, where the bishop is standing now.
So a different branch maybe.
Yes, had some tricks there, and I played it quite successfully in blitz games, even I remember against Motilov.
Okay.
So some good funny memories.
I was also just seriously impressed by David blocking out a game.
He will be able to surprise his opponent at a certain point, and then he can have chances.
Yeah, and okay, a trade of pawns. Magnus making a bit of a face though. Now Black's bishop can come to the center of the board. White's knight actually has no squares at all.
I think his plan is to trade also g-pawn.
Yeah, so Magnus has only one plan. He's got to push his pawns forward. Literally nothing else to do.
He's a dog with his bone, you know.
But we know that all these trades are good for the weak side, right? I mean,
Yeah.
let's exchange all the pawns and then we're fine.
But even if you do exchange the pawns, so for instance, black holds the white king at bay. So for instance here, you don't take pawns and invite the king to step to the fourth row, you just hold the tension. What is Eric going to do?
What is Magnus going to do?
Sorry, Magnus, yeah, my apologies.
Magnus has nothing to do. He just has to wait. But then again, okay, I'm shocked by the evaluation bar. What is the idea behind this one? He's blocked things up completely. Now Eric has to just wait. Can White somehow get the king back into the game? Remember, White's knight has no safe squares. You can't push your extra pawn either forward, because then the black king comes towards the white knight. Okay, the white king tries to get in. It's denied. That's a check. His king's back.
I think it was one trick. If Eric would move his bishop out of this diagonal, then knight could jump to c3 because e4 became a weakness. So actually, there was an idea.
I think that's the plan anyway, because White's king is just going to sidestep now to the d2 square. White knight's going to step back, and as you mentioned, Black's central pawn is actually isolated now.
Maybe king moves to d2 and then he supports the knight who will jump to the square, to the holy squares.
Yeah, so White's knight is going to get back to the game maybe eventually. I don't think that's going to change too much, because as soon as the white knight steps away, the black king will come down and pick off the white c-pawn. But Magnus is trying. He's at least trying to force Eric down under 10 seconds again. That's when blunders might happen.
Yeah.
What a tense game, actually.
It is quite tense, especially because Magnus will be taking a decision. Eric will have to be calculating at super speed in order to see what's the best defense for him. And he's considering, should he put his bishop in the middle of the board? Should he try to go for something else? And so he's gone for the king.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so White might continue with the plan, but White's knight also has the opportunity at some point now to try and jump out of its cage from on the edge of the board. Can jump forward. I don't think that really helps at the moment.
That's the first move I would calculate, actually, because it's a consequence of Black's last move.
Okay, he does it.
Jumping with the knight, and if that knight starts attacking some pawns on the right, they're gonna fall.
Actually, maybe Magnus has a route to try and win Black's central pawn. I was worried here about Black's king stepping forward in front of White's extra pawn. Oh, there we go. Now White's knight can actually give a check. I don't think you want to go to any other square, you might get trapped, or it can step back. Actually, wait, it's stepping towards the black g-pawn. Maybe
yes.
Magnus is winning suddenly.
Yeah.
Wow, we've seen a turnaround.
Wow.
Eric has just let the white knight back into the game. Right, he played that move with less than 1 second left.
Oh.
And he's losing his pawns. Those pawns now, the black g6 pawn, it's fallen.
Yeah.
And those pawns are way more important than the pawns on the other side of the board. Black's kings are just not participating now, it's in no man's land.
And now he's got the best type of pawn. It's a pass pawn, and
The bishop.
he will win the bishop.
Wow, we talked about squeezing water out of the stone. That has happened in this game. It was just a dead draw. Eric had it almost within his grasp. And here we go. Black's bishop has to stop the white pawn, but after this capture, that white pawn is going to cost Black his bishop, and Eric resigns. Magnus squeezed out the win.
Oh wow, both players shaking their